which long-term relationships will survive and which won't. Stripping away the myths of breakups. To understand why, we need to strip away the comforting myths and sentimental explanations that dominate popular culture. People often assume breakups happen because one partner fell out of love, got bored, found someone more exciting, or simply grew apart. These explanations sound plausible, but they're rarely the true cause. The real reason why most relationships fail lies much deeper, in something subtle, emotional, and profoundly human: the experience of not being heard. 1. The illusion of surface reasons. When relationships end, people often point to practical differences: politics, sex, hobbies, age gaps, or diverging interests. But these are usually symptoms, not causes. Think about it. Given the immense cost of separation, emotional pain, social disruption, financial strain, and the chaos that follows, especially when children are involved, people don't walk away simply because a partner changed their diet, got older, or developed new opinions. Humans are capable of immense tolerance for difference. What we cannot tolerate is emotional indifference. We can endure disagreement. What breaks us is the feeling that our emotions, perspectives, or needs don't matter. 2. The core wound, feeling unheard. Every breakup at its root can be traced to one or both partners feeling unseen or unheard. It's not disagreement that destroys intimacy, it's dismissal. When one partner feels that their viewpoint, however irrational, emotional, or inconvenient, is ignored or invalidated, it creates a fracture in the emotional bond. This fracture deepens over time, often unnoticed. It might begin with something small, a conversation about money, parenting, intimacy, or personal space. But if one partner feels that their feelings or experiences are being brushed aside, they begin to retreat, first emotionally, then physically. We can live with difference. What we cannot live with is a partner who refuses to recognize our emotional reality. 3. Disagreement isn't the enemy, disconnection is. People often believe harmony means agreement, but that's a myth. Love doesn't require identical opinions or perfect alignment. In fact, mature relationships thrive because they can hold differences with empathy and curiosity. We can stay with a partner who votes differently, who likes different hobbies, who has different sexual preferences, as long as they can see us. What keeps love alive isn't sameness, but emotional recognition. When a partner listens, truly listens, and says, "I can see how important this is to you," something magical happens. The heart relaxes. The need for control, for being right, fades. Understanding replaces defensiveness. This simple act of acknowledgement is the emotional glue of long-term love. 4. The loneliness inside relationships. There is a particular kind of loneliness that exists only inside relationships, the loneliness of being unseen. It's more painful than solitude because it's proximity without connection, the feeling of lying next to someone who doesn't really see you. At that point, it becomes psychologically safer to be single because the unseen are already alone, regardless of whether they share a bed or a house. This is why people sometimes leave relationships that seem perfect. From the outside, they're not chasing someone new, they're escaping the quiet despair of being emotionally invisible. 5. The power of I understand. I understand might be the most romantic phrase in existence. Not I love you, not you're beautiful, but I understand, because it signals empathy, the ability to step into another's world and validate their emotional experience, even when you don't agree. A partner who can say, I can see this matters to you and I'll try to understand, is worth more than one who showers us with gifts or compliments. They are the ones capable of sustaining emotional safety, the bedrock of enduring love. It's not about solving every issue or eliminating every difference. It's about listening without defense. When both partners can do that, even the hardest conversations become bridges instead of barriers. 6. The defensiveness trap. Defensiveness is love's silent killer. It's the instinct to protect our ego instead of the relationship. When we feel accused, criticized, or misunderstood, we rush to defend ourselves, but in doing so, we stop hearing. The truth is, we can either be right or connected, but rarely both. The happiest couples are not those who avoid conflict, but those who handle it without turning it into a war. They can say, I hear that you're upset, I might not agree, but I want to understand. This simple sentence can diffuse tension and rebuild trust faster than any romantic gesture. 7. The hope within the truth. There is deep hope in this understanding. To preserve love, we don't need to be perfect, rich, or physically ideal. We don't need to align in every interest or desire. What we need is emotional openness, the willingness to listen, to empathize, to stay curious rather than defensive. The right partner isn't the most beautiful or the most accomplished. It's the one who feels no pride in saying, I can hear what you're saying, tell me more. That humility, that willingness to understand, is what makes love last. Conclusion: love as the art of listening. Relationships don't fall apart because two people are incompatible. They fall apart because two people stop trying to understand each other. Emotional attentiveness. Lasting love is not built on perfect compatibility, but on emotional attentiveness. Safe space. It's not about agreeing on everything, but about creating a safe space where both people can express their truths and feel heard. If there is one principle that could save countless relationships, it would be this: listen before you defend. Understand before you respond. See before you judge. Because in the end, love doesn't die from conflict. It dies from silence, from indifference, from the unbearable pain of not being heard.